It is finally here, the day we've all been waiting for, solving equations like we know. We're going to do algebra, we're going to solve. To solve equations, we're going to do the reverse operation of what is in the equation. To solve, we're going to do the reverse. So if the equation has addition, to solve, we're going to use subtraction. If the equation has subtraction, we're going to use addition. If the equation has multiplication, we are going to use division. We're going to do the opposite of the operation. And if it has division, we are going to use multiplication. Hopefully this is a review. If you do have any questions on any of this, please do not hesitate to raise your hand and ask during class. So if we are solving for C, and we see that C minus 22 equals 54, we're going to do the reverse operation. So C minus 22 equals 54. We are going to add 22 to both sides. If you add, subtract, multiply, divide anything to an equation, you must do it equally on each side. Think of these equal signs as like scales, you know? If you're going to do something and it starts and they're equal, if you're going to do something to one, you got to do it to the other, or else our scale is going to go out of proportion, all right? So C minus 22 equals 54. We added 22 to both sides. When we do that, we're left with C equals 54 plus 22. We have 6 and 7. C equals 76. Now, if at any time you are hesitant about a response that you get, plug it in and check. So take the 76 minus 22. Does that equal 54? Bet your bottom dollar it does. Next, 63 plus m equals 79. We see the original equation has addition. To solve, we are going to use subtraction. So, if we have 63 plus m, we're going to subtract 63 from both sides. And we'll be left with m equals 79 minus 63 is 16. Now again, if you ever doubt, 63 plus 16, that does indeed equal 79. Let's look at if we have multiplication. If we have 39 equals negative 3 times r. If we have multiplication, we're going to do the opposite and divide. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. Always these things happen to both sides. So then we're left with that r equals 39 divided by negative 3. We're left with negative 13. Want to check? Does 39 equal negative 3 times negative 13? Oh yeah, it does. Now if we have b divided by 6 equals 9, to undo division, we're going to introduce multiplication and multiply both sides by 6. So when we do that, these reduce away and we have b equals 9 times 6, which is 54. Again, to check, is 54 divided by 6 equal to 9? Oh yeah. Now, if we have fractions, if we're multiplying by fractions, remember, multiplying by fractions, we're multiplying by fractions here. 2/3 times x equals 1/2. Now, if we have multiplication, we need to divide to do the opposite. But remember, dividing by fractions is multiplying by the reciprocal. So, when we have 2/3 times x equals 1/2, that means we're going to multiply both sides by 3/2. Why are we multiplying both sides by 3/2? Remember that that's the same thing as dividing by 2/3, which is multiplying by the reciprocal, which is multiplying by 3/2. So when we do this, we are able to reduce away this side completely to 1. We're using our inverses and our identities with this. We are using our inverses and identities with all of these solvings. So we have x equals 1/2 times 3/2. When we multiply across, that means we have x equals 3/4. We want to check. We can take 2/3 times 3/4. Does that equal 1/2? Those reduce to 1. That's 1. That's 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. You bet it does. All right, let's look at our practice problems for this. We are going to be looking at page 278, 18 through 54, multiples of 3. Multiples of 3, you might see times 3. That means we're doing every third problem. So we start with number 18, which says v minus 9 equals 14. So if we have subtraction, to undo that, we're going to do addition. So we're going to add 9 to both sides, so that v equals then 23. We box our answer. We check if we want. If you don't trust yourselves, go ahead and check. Now, since we're here, we can go ahead and go to number 21. You can do 21 over here since these are little and don't take a lot of space, or we can skip some space and just keep going down and do number 21, and we're doing multiples of 3.